I'm Maddie McManus and welcome to the Joy of Cooking. So today we're going to be making our lovely clients, Elias and Jackson, a wedding cake of vanilla white cake and red velvet cake with a nice buttercream frosting made from scratch. So for this recipe, you'll need 3 boxes of cake. My personal preference is Betty Crocker, but Kroger will work too. The cakes, we don't like dry cakes on this channel. We prefer it moist, so as long as it says moist on the box, you're good to go. So you'll need about 1.5 cup of vegetable oil and 9 large grade A eggs. For the homemade buttercream, you'll need confectioner sugar, unsalted butter, food coloring, some milk, and these little guys. Now time to find the joy of cooking. So after preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, you're gonna pour your dry ingredients into the bowl. So you'll need 3 eggs per cake mix. Quick tip of the day, mix your eggs before you put them in the cake mix if you want your cake extra moist. So now you're gonna add 1/2 cup of vegetable oil to both cake mixes. 1, 2. Then you're gonna add 1 cup and 1/4 cup of water to both cake mixes. So now you're gonna beat both bowls of cake mix vigorously until there's no lumps. Next, you're gonna grease both of your pans and pour the batter in. Now you're gonna put your cake pans in the oven and set timer to 30 minutes. So after cooking for 30 minutes, we're gonna test to see if the white cake is ready. And as you can see, it came out clean. So now we're gonna remove the cake from the oven and set it to cool. The red velvet cake still needs about 10 minutes, I'd say. Once your cake is cooled, you're gonna flip it over onto a cutting board and it should come out just like that. You're gonna do the same for the next cake. So now that the last 2 cakes are fully cooled off, they're out of their cake pans, I'm gonna repeat the first steps with this boxed cake and add 1 more layer to it. Okay, so while the cakes are cooling off and setting, we're gonna move on to our buttercream frosting. You're gonna need 2 cups of confectioner sugar, 2 sticks of unsalted butter, 4 tablespoons of whole milk, and then a little bit of vanilla extract. Whatever you're feeling is how much I'd add. So we'll do that much. And you're just gonna blend at medium speed until it reaches your desired texture. It should be creamy and fluffy at the same time. So once your frosting reaches its desired texture, you're gonna cover it with saran wrap and put it in the fridge to chill while you work on cutting your cakes. So now that our cake is chilled, in order to stack them, we need to make sure that the tops are flat. And if you see when the cake first comes out of the oven, it's got a rounded top. So what we're gonna do is take a serrated knife and lightly carve off the top of the cake so that it creates a flat surface. So once both cakes are flattened out, you're gonna take some frosting and put it on the center to act as a glue. Like so. Then you're gonna take one of your cakes, carefully lift it up, and place it on the other one. So now for our last layer, we want to cut it a little smaller so that it fits as the top tier of our cake. And I'm using a bowl to make a perfect circle so that I have something to trace. Okay, so once you've cut your cake into the desired size for the top tier, you're going to take a little more frosting and add it as a glue. And you're going to carefully, using a spatula, place the top tier of the cake on, just like that. Okay, so now that the cake is finally put together, we're just going to spread white frosting over the entire thing. So now it's time for the fun part. We're going to use our homemade piping bags and decorating icing to start piping around the cake. The client said that they like roses and flowers, so I'm just going to try to incorporate that into the cake and we'll see how it goes. So it's 8 hours later, it's now dark outside, but here's our final product. I think we did a really good job. It incorporates the flowers and the roses that we discussed with Elias and Jackson in the beginning. And although it's not the most traditional wedding cake, you know, not everything's perfect. Life's messy, relationships are messy, and you know, in the end, you just can't take things too seriously. So let's eat.